hopefully it'll pick up the audio. Okay, here's an email I got from Shanna. Is this technical registration and sale something you can start and complete? And let me scroll down here a little bit. Okay, so basically this is something that it's easier that when we install it for us to register it because we know all the information, but this one's a little different. So basically the customer installed 3 new gateways, 1 G450 and 2 G430s, and so they want us to add it to the SAL. So they sent us this spreadsheet here, and it says in here on this sentence, I don't think you can see, well, you can see it all. The recording can't, but it says basically they are located on lines 25 through 27. So I opened up that spreadsheet. Let me pull it over here to the right window. And lines 25 through 27 are these ones highlighted. So I see that we're supposed to register 1 G450 and 2 G430s. And they're at the new Cypress location, which they call Cypress 1. So what I do is I go into GRT. And we're going to start this from scratch. Let's see. I need to go back to the main window here. Well, I'll just go to GRT like we're starting from scratch. I think so. Now, oh, okay. So here we are at the main GRT screen. You see where I have create new registration? So, and I already did this, but I'm going to show you. You'd hit create, and then you'd hit technical onboarding only. This is all we ever deal with. And the sold to number is, oh, I went into PWA to the project plan. And let me open this up real quick. And you see the sold to number here. So I'm going to close that. I copied it. Go back into GRT. I'm going to put 2 zeros in front of it because it has to be perfect. Now if I backspace and hit my 3 again, it'll pull up. So there's Nation Star Mortgage. I select it and hit next. And on the screen here, all you have to do is you have to start putting in your phone number. And mine's already there, so I'm just gonna, because I have Firefox to remember my stuff. And then over here, I put same as above, so it populates all my information in here. And then I hit next. And now I've got this screen here, registerable products list ready for technical onboarding. So I'm going to expand that. And you'll see right now that all I have is 1 G430, but over here it says quantity is 4. So if I wanted to, earlier I had 1 G450 and I had 6 G430s. So I've only got to register 1 450 and 2 430s. So what I did is I went over here under access type and I selected SAL. Now it automatically pulls up with G430 gateway, and all I really have to do is put in the SEID of their main SAL. Of the SAL. So what I did over here, let me pull up, this is our SAL. So I go in here under services and I want to select Nation Star Mortgage, and they are Cyrus 1 here. I'm waiting for it to expand. think so, but I wouldn't swear to it. Eric does most of the NationStar installs. So all I'm going to do is scroll down here to where it says SAL Gateway Standalone. I'm just going to click on it so I can get the SAL ID. So here's the SAL ID for it. So I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to go back over to my GRT. Yes, for Cyrus 1. So over here, probably just from working with Eric and different things. But if you open up in what we were just in, let me paste this real quick. If you go into here under SAL and you select the right location, yeah, let me do this on the picture. NationStar. See, I don't know if they have more than one SAL or not. So what I did is I just went into their location, because I know it needs to go on Cyrus 1, and then I located their SAL gateway. Now if they didn't have one and I wasn't sure, I would just click on anything. Let me click on like this gateway as an example, and I would scroll down here to the very bottom, and it says SAL Gateway Standalone here. So this would take me to the gateway that all of these are registered on. Yeah, so that's another way to do it. And so what I did is I pasted it right here for my SAL ID, and I'm just going to hit add, and then you'll see down here that this popped up. So I would click primary, and then I would select no, because this window says, let me see if I can get it, do you want a random password generated? So I just said no. And then all I would do is hit add, which I'm not going to do because I've already done this, and it would bring me back to this main screen, and I would go down here and click submit. Now as soon as I click submit, I will get an email. It could take 5 minutes or so. And since I did 3 of them, I've got 3. So I did 1 submit. So you're going to get 1 email like this that says in process notification. So that shows that I did something in SAL to generate SCIDs, right? So you can always just delete that one. Now, I've got 1 SAL ID. You see 3 emails? So I got 1 for my G450, and I got 1 for each G430. So now I haven't done anything here, so I'm going to open up this first one, and this should be for my 450. Let me see. Yeah, you see right here it's got a 450 SE code. Now, normally I just log into their SAL and add this, so we might pause this video in a second, but let me go up here. With NationStar, we have to email Early. What's his last name? His last name's Early. There it is. No, that's AT&T. I'm trying to think of his name. John Early. Let's see if it comes up under JE. I think it's under John. There it is. So John Early. I'm just going to email him. Let's see. John, could you please point your SAL to source so we can add new SEIDs for 1 G450 and 2 G430s recently installed at Cyrus or Cypress. What was it? Oh, Cyrus. Let me just double check my Cyrus one. Okay, could you please point your SAL to source so we can add new SEIDs? So I'm going to send this email to him. I'm not sure when he'll respond, so I'll pause this. Yep, oh, let me keep on continuing my recording. Yeah, I wish I could move this recording, but I can't. So it's usually either admin 01. If that doesn't work, it didn't work. The only other one it usually is source detailed. Let's see if that works. Okay, it looks like I'm already pointed. So I'll keep this recording going. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull his spreadsheet up, and we're going to add this 450. So this is the node name. I hope I got everything I need. And I'm going to do, if I scroll down here to the bottom, I'm going to click add new, and I'm going to paste in the host name. Now the IP address is right here. And paste it. Now for a G430, they're all going to be under Media Gateway right here. You see that? And if you already know this, just tell me. Okay, so I'm going back to my email here, and I'm looking for my SEID right here. This is what they just gave me for this G450. So I'm going to copy it. Go back. No, that's what, when we went into GRT and I submitted, it sends me an email with it. So I'm going to paste it right here. And these don't have a product ID, or I'd be able to type in here. All I want is remote access. I don't want to collect anything. I don't want to transport alarms because it's grayed out. So all I want to do is provide remote access. And then I hit add. Now I'm going to do this. Oh, hang on. IP address is empty or not valid. I either have a space in here. Yep, I see a space. Looks like it. So let me add it again. Oh, I sure do. Well, this is good. You know it won't work without a perfect IP address. Let me click add again. Okay, now since I want to add a couple more, I'm not going to restart it yet. So what you always have to do is click back. And then you have to scroll down and do add new again. So now I'm going to move on to my other my first G430, which is this guy. And let me get his host name. Let me go back in here, paste it. Let me go back and get his IP address. Now normally I create a little spreadsheet. And oh, wrong IP address too. Normally I create a little spreadsheet, and I'll show you that here in a minute to make all this easier, so you have to keep going back and forth. So let me put in this and fix it. Take these spaces out. Okay, so it's the same thing. It's a media gateway. And now it wants the SEID, which will come from my email. And it should be this one. This G430. Yeah. So here's my SEID down here. I'm going to copy it. Paste. Provide remote access. Uncheck collect inventory. And hit add. Now I'm going to hit back. Scroll down, hit add new. I'm saying this out loud because the video is not catching everything. Now I'm ready to do my last host name. Copy. Go back to cell. paste. Let me go back and get its IP address. Copy. Paste. Let me fix it. And we're going to select the gateway. Now it wants the SCID, so I'm going to pull up my third email, my last one. Try to get this in the video. Now don't get mixed up here. You have an SCID. Yeah, and we're not doing that. So I'm going to copy that. And you'll be able to go back through here and take good notes. But now I'm going to paste it in here. I'm going to select provide remote access to this device, uncheck collect inventory, click add. Now I've added everything I want to add. So I'm going to go up here where it says SAL agent and remote access agent restart. If I click it, I'm going to have to hit apply next, and it's going to do a pop-up window. Yes, are you sure you want to restart it? Yes. And so I'm going to kind of wait till it times out here. You can kind of see it spinning. A couple minutes. But as soon as this web page dies, I'll show you what I normally do. Yeah, at least I think it might just be the SAL agent. Yeah, and it looks like either it already was or he just got my email real quick and did it. I don't know. But if I couldn't connect to that SAL, that would be why. And he's one of the very few customers that does that. Most of them we can get in all the time. But I'm guessing they have a value for the maintenance. Okay, you see my thing that it stopped spinning? So what I'm going to do is go back to my SAL connection here, and I'm going to end it. Now you'll see a pop-up on this guy if I try to close them. Dang. Nope, it just closed. Let me close all these emails. All that air in the background doesn't help our video taping, does it? Okay, so now what I'm going to do is go back into SAL. And I'm going to scroll down here to Nation Star. No, I'm going to look under my default. This is what we used to be able to do. But I don't think it works anymore. Because some people from the TAC are... Yeah, they've got too many IDs in here. In fact, let me see. Let me go ahead and write these down. And this is normally what I'd create a spreadsheet for, but let me just write down this SAL ID. We're looking for this one. Alright, let me copy it. No, I'm actually going to add it to our SAL. So that's the 450. Now let me go back to the other email. And I'll show you that spreadsheet. Don't let me forget to show that spreadsheet. How to do what we're doing. I think I've actually got it in my pre-config document. I have to see how up to date it is. Yeah, I think I do actually, and I'll show you that too. Oops. Where's my notepad? Okay, so I'm gonna paste it here. This will be G431. Let me go back to my other email. copy, notepad, paste, G432. Now I'm also going to put the host names on here because I got a lot of gateways in there and I don't want it to be too confusing. So if I pull back up the spreadsheet, I have these gateways. So here's how I'm going to kind of label them. Copy that. Paste. Oh, good. Yeah, the more you do it, the better it gets. Okay, so I'm just going to drag this off to the side. You can't really see it right now, but I took some notes. So now, if I go back into our SAL, since it's not listed here, I'm looking for something that ends with 8158. Let me scroll up just to make sure it's not in here. Yeah, because the way these other people do all this stuff, it kind of messes it up. So, here's the way to get around it. Can't really show it on the screen, but if you go under hit device over here, and what I'm going to do is search for the first one that I put in there, which is 628, and it has to be typed exactly like it is. 428 8158, and I'm going to hit enter, so it'll search for it. So there it found it. Now you see the default location is always Proton. So what I want to do is open up this SEID, and I'm going to name it. I'm going to give it the name that they have. Normally I just put like G450, but since they have so many in there, I'm going to go ahead and give it a real name. They're in our time zone. I'm pretty sure this one's in Louisville. So I'm going to hit next. And this is not a new location, so I'm adding it to the location. So I'm going to look for NationStar Mortgage, and now I'm going to select where it is, which should be something called Cyrus 1, and then I'm going to hit finish and hit finish, and now I'm going to add in the second G430, or the first G430, 628. And I'm just looking at a sheet on the other page here that I copied. 428, if I could type, 8157, hit enter. So this is my first G430, so I'm going to name it CW G430-01. Time zone's still good, hit next. And all I'm going to do is select, you'll see NationStar Mortgage is now at the top. It kind of remembers the last thing you do. And Cyrus 1's at the top. I'm going to hit finish, and I'm going to hit finish. Now I'm going to find my second G430. This will be the last one. It's going to be 628 428 8159. Enter. There it is. I'm going to select it, and I'm going to give it the name it has, CWG450. G430. I can't type. G430 -0 or -02. Okay, so I'm going to hit next. Tell it where it is. It's under NationStar, and it's under Cyrus 1. I'm going to hit finish, finish. Now, I'm going to go back here under service. So now we should see this sucker, all three of these. So I'm going to scroll down here to where it's supposed to be. So basically we told it where it's supposed to be. So I'm going to go to NationStar Mortgage, Cyrus 1. And now I should see it listed here. There they are. So you see CWG 431, G432, and you see the 450. So now basically I should be able to connect to it. Yeah, and I'm going to do SCP. I'm going to do start session, and then I'm going to pull up PuTTY while that's going. and I should be able to get into it by 127.0.0.1 using SSH. So let me just wait till this connects. Well, good. We're able to do all this at one time instead of wait for him. So, and I'll go back to. I got two more things to show you when we're done with this, but go ahead. Yeah, and I just share it, and then actually the whole world can see it, but I can always take it down or share it with just certain people. Okay, so it says I'm connected, so I'm going to try to connect. There's my security. You always hit yes. Now, if their login passwords are the same, it all should be root, then R00T, R00T. It is. So I'm actually logged into their gateway. So I just confirmed connectivity. And you want to do that with everything you add. So I would go into the other two, but for sake of training, I'm just going to close it here. Now, for our notes, let's go back to the project plan. You need to get that. Okay. I'm going to check this out. I'm going to edit in browser. Now I'm going to go to the file information page. I submitted it today. I get the address. Copy. Paste. That's fine. I'm just carrying on the video. I'm basically going into the project plan and I'm adding what we just added. So, let me see if it has. Oh, I can show you where to put that. Okay. Oh, I did that wrong. So now what I'm doing is I'm putting in information into our project plan. They don't have alarm IDs, they have host names. So this is G, and there's a way you can copy and paste all this too. I'm just showing you the manual way. And the IP address, I didn't write down, so let me get it. And let me write it down over here on my other tab so I don't have to keep going back and forth. 10.73.50.20. And my next one is 10.73.50.25. Then 10.73.50.26. Okay, so back in the project plan, I'm going to put in our, oh man, it's because it's so hot over here, can't type, 20. It's nice, but I'm inside and they got the heater on and it is hot. Oh yeah, I'll get some of that cold weather here this weekend. Oh great, that's all I need. Missed my Christmas down there. G430, this one is 01, 10.73.50.25, and our other one is a G430. 628-428, and it's 8159. CW G430-02 10.73.50.26. Okay, so I'm going to hit save. And I'm going to go back here to my dashboard. don't know how old this project plan is. No, it didn't have any GRT information. In my newer forms, I have a GRT table. And so what you do is back in GRT, I'm going to hit cancel on this one. And I'm going to do a search by sold to number, which was, oh, it's in the project plan. Copy, go back to GRT, 00, paste, and I'm going to do filter, so I'm going to hit enter. And it's going to pull up all the records under that sold to number that we recently did. So you can see, yeah, quite a bit. Every project you install, plus you get some like this that you didn't install. So you can see here, this is the one that says in progress. So what I'm going to do, well, normally what you do is you copy this record, and then you'd go back to the project plan and you'd put it in under the GRT spot. But since they don't have one, I'm just going to go ahead and close this one. I've already saved it. Yes. And I'm going to check it back in. Now here's another step we're going to do. See, now that the equipment's installed, we can access it. I'm going to go here to where it says in process. And now I'm going to submit it for alarm testing to complete the technical registration. So, let's see here. There should be, if you scroll over, wait a minute, I got a 450 and two 430. Okay. So I'm going to scroll over here, and I'm going to select all of these for alarm and connectivity testing. And then I'm going to hit down here where it says SAL alarm and connectivity. And this will take a second to pull up. So part one of GRT of our responsibilities is we go in there and we generate SEIDs. That's what we did at first. We did create new, we selected technical onboarding, we put in what we're trying to register, we got an email, we put the SEIDs in. Now they're here in the system. Oh, so this window's already pulled up. So I have a 450 and two 430. So what I'm going to do is select for remote access. I'm going to check each one of these, and there's no alarming to check. So I'm going to hit submit. Are you sure? Yes. Hit OK, and that'll generate one more email saying that it's in progress. Let me let this finish. So now basically this is going to Avaya. And here is some new codes right here. You can see here my email just popped up. In process. Now this could take a month, it could take 3 months, who knows. So here's something I do. I have something called GRT statuses, and you can create your own spreadsheet if you want. I'm sure Eric does it one way, I do it one way. I keep a spreadsheet up here. Let me open it up. Okay, so I have a big list here, and this is how I keep track of everything. So let me go back and get what project this is. Oh, I forgot. Shanna Monk. Where is it? That's Wells Fargo. This is it. 8962. So if I go back to my spreadsheet, 8962, and then I put in the sold to number, and again I'll show you the spreadsheet that I use that keeps all this easier. But oh, I'm looking for sold to number. crap. That was back in the project plan. Well, I'll come back to that for sake of time. I normally put my sold to number there, put in the company. Now, the initial, there's 3 steps to GRT. Hang on one second. Hey, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I just try not to hold the phone so much.
Okay.
Okay, so here, I'm going to put in the initial record from GRT, and this is what Gene does. Let me see if it's got the sold to number on here. Yeah, there it is.
Did you see that email?
Yeah, check it in a minute. So there's the sold to number. So I'm looking for the first record in GRT. Let me go ahead and write this while I have it. So these all have the same number. I'm going to copy this, and I'm going to paste this one here. Now this is in process. And today's date is what? 12/15/2014. These don't have a sit or mid because they're gateways. And I'll just put in media gateways. Just something so you can remember.
Okay.
It's not ready for maintenance. It's not ready for maintenance until it comes back and says that, you know, it's done. So I'll say requested alarming testing on 12/15 for 1 G450 and 2 G430s. That's just my note when they call and say, hey, what's the status of this sucker? Okay, now over here, let me go back to my gateway. Dadgummit. GRT, I mean. And since this is done, where's my back button? Yeah, already hit submit. Okay, so let me go back. So the original record created by Gene was this. So I'm going to copy that, put that in my spreadsheet. And I'd normally put a date that he did it. But for sake of time. Now this is the record that I did, which is this one. The top one is one that I just showed you and I canceled it. I know what date I did this, 12/15/2014. So I'm just going to save this spreadsheet, close it. No, I don't want to check it in now. I always like to check them in myself. Hit OK. Now, what I will do is go back to my original email from Shanna. Reply to all. I'm going to add Cindy on here. In fact, I'll even add you on here. And I will say, I have added 1 G450 and 2 G430s to Nation stars. Sal added SEIDs to project plan. And submitted for alarming testing on 12/15/2014. Okay, I've added one G450 and two G430s to Nation Star. Sal added SEIDs to project plan and submitted for alarming testing. As soon as I get confirmation of alarming testing, I will let Shanna know. Michael and I did this together and captured this meeting for training purposes. Okay, so here's two things I wanted to show you real quick. Okay, right here on this part, lines 44 through 47 are gateways that existed in other office locations that we have since relocated to our data center. I'm guessing we need to update a value on the current office location for these devices. So this is where it gets over my head. I'm not really sure how to do this part. So Shanna's probably going to respond back and say, what about these? And then I'll have to go to Eric and say, okay, here's what we got. What am I supposed to do in this situation? And, you know, try to figure it out.
Gotcha.
So now here's the other thing I wanted to tell you. I have a spreadsheet that I keep on my desktop. I'm going to go ahead and close this. It's called Book 1. Needs to be better labeled, but what I do is I add these to a spreadsheet really fast so that I don't have to go back and forth and look for everything. So I have this little template, like here as an example.